boopity boop shabop bop wow! Hello there, internet. Today is a really cool video where I'm talking about coming out as an asexual. And how better to do this video than with my friend Kai.
Hello, my name is Kai, my username is kaihugstrees, and I'm asexual.
Alright, first things first, this is a question I think about a lot. Do you think it's necessary to come out as asexual?
I, personally, don't think it's necessary for asexual people to come out if they don't want to. On the other hand, if they do want to, and they feel safe doing so, they absolutely should.
I agree a lot with Kai. I don't think it's necessary to come out as asexual, but if you want to, more power to you, and that's the reason to do it. For me personally, I felt it was necessary to come out as asexual. I didn't feel like it was something I had to hide, but that doesn't mean that I didn't feel like I was hiding it. There was this big thing about me that I wasn't telling people, and I didn't feel good about that, so I wanted to share it. I was also dating John, and I didn't feel right keeping it from him.
When I first discovered the word asexual, I was so excited because it was the first time I had found a word that accurately described what I was and explained why I am the way I am. So when I first discovered asexuality was a thing, I came out to anyone who would listen. Most of the people who would listen at that point were my classmates, and the responses varied from, "What? What is that?" to, "Oh, okay, that's nice."
As we should all know from my asexual coming out video, I have indeed come out, and I did it in a video. I think that if you're thinking about coming out as asexual, you can do it in whatever way that you want to, but you have to be prepared for questions.
Back in the day when I discovered asexuality, it was not as well known as it is today, so the responses of "what is that" were a lot more common.
I personally got a lot of good reactions. I think it helped that I made a video because people could see how I was speaking about it, and I think I had enough time to think about it and put enough information into the video so that people already knew what it was when I said that's what I was.
Those were also the days when you got a whole bunch of fun responses from people online, such as, "Isn't asexual reproduction a plant thing? You're not a plant, you're a person." Or, "Don't worry, you'll find the right person for you someday." Even now, there are still people who respond with things such as, "If you just don't want to have sex, why do you need to put a label on it?" Which isn't what asexuality really is about, but...
Exactly. Not everybody knows what asexuality is, and not everybody is going to be completely understanding when you try to explain it to them.
Coming out as asexual is one of the easiest things I've ever come out as, actually, because I can just explain it with words as simple as, I don't experience sexual attraction to anyone. When I first realized I was asexual, I came out to all of my friends and a lot of my classmates, and that was fine. But on the other hand, I never came out to my parents, and I don't really plan to. I've talked to them before about the fact that I never wanted to have kids or take part in any of that baby-making stuff, and at first, they were like, "Well, you know, everyone says that. You'll want kids when you're older." And that wasn't the best response that they could have given me, obviously. That really invalidated my feelings at the time, and regardless of whether or not I did change my mind when I was older, that was how I felt then, so they could have just been like, "Okay."
I actually went through the same kind of experience, at least with my mom.
My college has a group called the Rainbow Alliance, and while there aren't a whole bunch of asexual people in it, when I tell people I'm asexual, they understand what that means, and that is fantastic. Other people, who aren't as familiar with these sorts of identity terms, may not understand it, but once you tell someone, "I don't experience sexual attraction," it's pretty clear what that is. The only time you'll really get a bad reaction is by people who don't believe you or have a snarky answer.
And I've heard, about a few people that didn't exactly take it the best, I guess? But that's okay.
If people tell you that you're not asexual, or that that can't be a thing that has no basis in science, or everyone has sexual feelings, or something like that, you can just ignore them, because they don't know you, they don't know how you're feeling. Just because they haven't experienced it themselves doesn't mean you don't experience it. It doesn't make your identity any less valid. And for the people who have snarky comments such as, "Asexual, what are you, like an amoeba or something? Like you're a person," just ignore those people. If they can't understand something as simple as your identity on the ace spectrum, they're not worth your time. And if you don't feel comfortable coming out, if you don't feel safe, if you don't feel people will be accepting or understanding of your identity, you don't have to. Don't feel pressured into coming out just because other people do. With something like sexual orientation, it's a very personal thing. It only affects people who you may or may not be attracted to, so you don't need to tell other people about it if you don't want to.
So that was the video! Thank you so much, Kai, for agreeing to do this video with me. I think coming out as asexual is something that's highly debated, but it's something that needs to be talked about. All of Kai's links will be in the doobly-doo, so I suggest that you check them out. Also in the doobly-doo will be a video that I did with Kai for their channel. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and share because of awesomeness. And I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Abbie, for having me on your channel. It was super awesome to collab with someone else on the asexual spectrum. See ya!
Bye! Boop, shoobity bop, shoo, bye!